TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Diamond, your State Farm Insurance agent in DeKalb. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Diamond and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Don't forget Kids Eat for Free on Thursday. For delivery or pickup, go to pizzavilla.com or call 815-758-8116. Elder Care Services of DeKalb. Safe, secure, and supported. Helping you stay in home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org. My Insurance Guy in Sycamore covers Medicare to auto care and everything in between. Stop by at 204 South Main Street in Sycamore. Call 815-899-0950 or online at myinsuranceguy.com. And welcome into TD Ryan Unleashed News Podcast number 46. TD Ryan along with you. A flying solo, but we got the oak tree of the news department, Dan Lynch, with us as always. Dan, how you doing, my friend?
April showers.
So we're expecting the May flowers, right?
They bring something.
Does that follow? We're on
Bring a lot of flooding.
Of course, want to thank one of our sponsors. That's the Junction Eating Place. The Junction Eating Place at 816 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Give them a call at 758-5441, 758-5441. And you may or may not have heard about the brunch that they're, the all-you-can-eat brunch they're serving, Monday through Saturday, with different themes every night. They have like an Italian theme. I know tonight is chicken. They got a chicken theme. And, of course, the Friday night fish fries. So check that out there. The Junction Eating Place. They're all-you-can-eat buffet from 4 to 8 there every night but Sunday. And then, of course, don't forget about Takis to go. We learned Takis is Greek for a small one. That's why Chris was called Takis, because he used to work at the Junction when he was a young man. So Takis to go DeKalb. Again, they're located at 817 West Lincoln Highway. Locally family-run, a spot serving fresh, fast, and flavorful meals, hot dogs, gourmet burgers, and Greek cuisine as well. Just need a 24-hour notice for any size catering, whether it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Call them at 815-739-7146. And I saw this thing, my sister, she's a bit of a lefty there. They're doing a thing Friday. We're recording this on May 30th, or we're recording this on April 30th. May 1st, you're not supposed to spend any money tomorrow. Have you heard about this?
I have not heard.
It's like, it's a variation of the No Kings protest, but they're showing their economic power. So they're asking people not to spend any money on Friday, May 1st. So,
okay.
I don't know how they're going to gauge that. I guess just
stick
overall.
it to who? Amazon? Or
I don't know who we're sticking it to, because by not shopping, I don't know what that accomplishes. But apparently, just showing the power of the people.
Oh,
is what I'm gathering from that. But I don't know. But what do you got? What do you got for news there, my friend?
DeKalb man facing drug charges. TD. Now, this was on April 22nd.
Okay.
They were conducting an undercover operation. DeKalb police. They agreed to buy some cocaine.
Oh.
From a guy. And so the guy said, "Hey, meet me over at KJ's, which is near Gordon's."
Yes, little watering hole there. Yes.
Yeah, nice bar.
It is.
A lot of people like KJ's. But anyway, I hate to bring a negativity, but this could happen anywhere.
Right. That's just where it happened to go down. Right. Yeah.
So the cops buy $150 worth of coke. And they also find a methamphetamine pill on him, apparently, on this 25-year-old gentleman named Randy Bear, who is facing 4 charges now. They also found cocaine wrapped up in
little baggies there.
One in a baggie, but then some cocaine wrapped up in a Social Security card.
Oh,
which I thought was interesting.
That is interesting.
But, TD's been to those kind of parties. I have not. They also he told police that he's a user and he sells cocaine and to pay for his drug and gambling habits. He admitted that. So he admitted all this, and he's charged with 4 felonies, including intent to deliver and intent to deliver within 500 feet of a park.
Oh.
Moudy Park, M-O-U-D-Y Park, that's that little patch of grass just east of the McDonald's.
By the McDonald's,
the
there's a tribute to the police officer there. There's a plaque there, yeah.
Okay, but they call that a park.
Yeah.
I mean...
And I think it was Officer Moody. I think that's why it's called that.
Oh, okay.
So that little park is dedicated to the police officer.
Okay.
back
Well,
in
thanks for telling me. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
because I walk by that park all the time. Yeah.
MOUY. Okay, got it. So anyway, 4 felonies for that gentleman. That went down. So they still do sting operations or undercover.
And selling cocaine sounds so, I don't know why, antiquated to me now. I mean, you get all these heroin and fentanyl, all the modern drugs, but cocaine is still around. Huh? People still. Well, I know Kennedy was doing cocaine off the toilet seats.
I think of the 80s.
Right.
And my father worked in Chicago, and they'd sweep up the mercantile exchange
Oh my gosh.
at night, and that's where they'd find the coke.
Oh, okay. Those guys were all. I knew a guy who worked on the floor. They were always wired. They were always wired. Wow. Well, if you may have heard this story, if you remember, 88 was shut down earlier this week. This is from the April 28th Daily Chronicle. Authorities ID the man who died in 88. The police involved shooting at the pursuit in DeKalb. Now, authorities on Tuesday identified the man killed by police confronting a gunfire on 88 with a multiple county chase that ended in Maple Park. Joseph Morano, 36 of Warrenville, died at area hospital. He suffered from a gunshot wound. His cause and manner of death remains pending ongoing forensic investigation. Illinois State Police said Morano was driving his Honda sedan, wanted in connection with a missing person reported experiencing a mental health crisis. At about 3:12 p.m. on westbound 88 to west of Kissinger Road in Maple Park, the shooting happened. And then it shut down the whole west lane there. Police said the driver later identified Morano, brandished a gun, and then fled in the Honda. Warrenville police found the Honda and pursued it. The driver continued to brandish the gun as they approached him, and that's when the shooting happened. Imagine how crazy that must have been on 88 there. This guy's got a gun outside the window. Authorities said at point Moreno, police officers fired the gun. Moreno suffered a gunshot wound. Authorities gave him emergency care at the scene. He was taken to the area hospital where he died, according to Illinois State Police. No police officers were injured during the shooting there. And I don't know if you saw that story. Maybe you have it. The one in the Chronicle, I think it was yesterday. Some guy had his car. He got held up by a gunpoint by this dude. So and the dude takes off in his car. He goes up to his apartment, gets his gun, and starts chasing this guy. Confronts him, stops him, then they exchange gunfire. The bad guy gets back in the car, and the victim gets back and chases him in the car again. So they both crashed right by 88 again. They were on, I forget what road they were on, but talk about the Wild Wild West. This guy gets ripped off. He goes into his apartment, gets his gun, chases the other guy. They have a shootout. Then they both take off again, and they crash there on 88.
You know what time of day that was?
I don't. I was going to cut the article out of the Chronicle, and I didn't, but it was just crazy that the victim not only went to get his own gun, chased the guy, had a gunfight with the guy, and then chased him again. Then they both crashed.
In DeKalb.
Yikes, that's right.
That's why, you move out of the city to avoid these things.
Right.
Yikes.
But fortunately, we just had Chief Byrd on, and of course, violent crime is down 59% in the last 5 years. But you're going to always have incidents like this. I always love that people on the Facebook, they'll say, oh, DeKalb, there goes DeKalb, and that's life in DeKalb. And it happens everywhere. I mean, come on.
Yes, it does happen everywhere. But as long as the rate goes down.
All right. And it did. All right, what you got there, Dave?
Okay, one of the local legislators, State Senator Sue Resin, she's got an office on South 4th in DeKalb, but she also represents portions of Grundy County and LaSalle. She says she gets asked, the number one thing she gets asked about is the Bear Stadium.
Yes.
She says it's 50-50.
Meaning what? 50-50 what?
Illinois or Indiana.
Are you serious? Really?
50-50. Because Indiana's ready to go. Illinois told the Bears it's not really a priority in 2026. But then when Illinois found out that Indiana made an offer that the Bears like, now the Illinois legislators are in a frenzy to get this done.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. There's no excuse for that at all.
So now she's saying raising property. The way it is now, she claims that the current deal would raise property taxes. So they're still trying to rework it.
Uh-huh.
They're hoping to get a deal that helps everybody.
Right. Yeah, we'll see if that plays out or not. Now, survivors of sexual violence advocate take to the streets in DeKalb. This was back on, it was just last night there where they posted this in the paper. But we talk with our friends, the Safe Passage, the Sexual Assault Awareness Month. This is their 25th year of doing this. You can always call Safe Passage 815-756-5228. But about 30 people gathered outside the Egyptian Theater for this event. In 2020, Safe Passage, the Sexual Assault Response Program, helped 1,388 adult survivors and 482 children survivors. In 2025, Safe Passage provided 4,417 nights of shelter for adults and 1,982 nights for children. That's why it's so important, Dan, they're building that new Safe Passage facility, because you can hear these numbers, hit you over the head with these numbers, especially the kids. 496 nights for the kids there. A similar event dubbed Reclaim the Night was born in Rome after 16,000 rapes were reported in the city in 1976. Award in Leeds, England that same year, authorities told women to stay indoors while predator targeting and assaulting, murdering women were at large, like Jack the Ripper. Organizers staged a Reclaim the Night there, too, said Ward, the spokesperson. So how about that? We're not alone here doing this. And then some hard numbers. The National Intimate Partners in Sexual Violence Survey from the U.S. Center for Disease Control, 45% of women will experience sexual violence in their lifetime. 45%. And 17% of men will. So it's not just a woman's issue there. But,
well, lust is one of the 7 deadly sins.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, that's... For all of us, especially men, it's good to do things physical and have, running,
get all that, yes.
weightlifting. I mean, you don't want to be in front of a computer all day.
No. That does not lend itself to goodness.
And then going to the bar every night. I mean, but I don't live a life of virtue. I mean, I've done my partying, but I grew up in a house with 4 sisters. And 4 sisters that didn't take any jive from me.
I don't doubt that.
But yeah, lust is a major problem in this country, in the world.
Yeah. Well, it said Rome. They had the Rome back in 1976. They had that. 16,000 women got raped. I mean, my God, that's crazy. Or yeah, one more news story. Then we're going to get a brief cameo from the man, the myth, the legend that is Shadow Gentry.
You always see this when you're driving this section of highway dedicated to so-and-so. Well, DeKalb County is announcing that a part of Route 23 will be named for Deputy Christina Mussell.
Oh, good.
Deputy Christina Mussell Memorial Highway. This is Route 23 from Perry to McGurr Roads. She was killed in March of 2024. She was parked in her squad, rear-ended, and she was just 35.
Yes.
Had been with the department for 5 years, Army veteran, 3 children. The naming goes into effect. Today's Thursday, tomorrow.
Okay. May 1st, okay.
May 1st, yep. So yeah, when you're driving in that stretch, you'll see signage for that.
Yeah, we just did an interview, one of our podcasts, and one of the young ladies we were talking to taught her children, one of the 3 kids. So I taught those kids too. So
no
just
kidding.
A tragic thing there. But nothing better, I can imagine, than naming that after her. So there'll be a ceremony as far as you know, or is it just
the naming goes into you know what? There will probably be something. Yeah.
Okay.
On tomorrow.
All right.
The naming goes into effect. But I can still hear the audio from that police call. I still have an audio memory of that.
Really?
As I'm in the newsroom, you're in the other room, I'm in the newsroom, and I'm listening to this, and you hear. I would always be listening to the scanner.
Right.
And I never forgot that night.
Wow, I bet. Well, many of us won't. I know. My God, God bless her and her family. All right, we're going to take a little variation here now. We have Shadow. I promised him he'd be able to come in here, if you don't mind, talk for a couple moments here about something he's got coming up. Of course, the Day of Giving is coming up on May 7th. And what, you get double, you get bonus, double your donation there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't mind, could you help
You want me to go get him?
bring Shadow in if you don't mind? He's waiting in the wings here. We'll have Shadow Gentry tell us quickly what he's going to talk about, and then we'll get back to our community calendar. Our thanks to, again, from the Junction Eating Place for being our sponsor here. And Dan's going to give up his special seat for you, Shadow. How about that? Shadow's going to take a seat in there. For once, Shadow has something written out. Shadow, usually you just go off the cuff, right? But You actually wrote something down. What are you talking about here today?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am Shadow Gentry. I have been chosen as this year's ambassador for the Opportunity House Art Show 2026. It will take place this Wednesday, May 6th, 4:30 to 6:30 at Blooming Gardens. Not only will you get to see some great art, there will be a donors hour before the show. It will be a question and answer session with the artists who did the drawings
Cool.
before the show. And page 3.
All right.
There will be refreshments and a chance to win a plant compliments of Wilrich flowers. So stop on by this Wednesday, 4:30 to 6:30. Thank you for your time. Again, see you Wednesday. And this paid announcement was brought to you by Opportunity House, which, by the way, May 7th, give generously to Opportunity House for Give DeKalb County Day.
All right, very good. What, did you write that yourself, Shadow? That was really good, man.
Yes, I did. I took the liberty of writing it myself.
All right. Well, if we were still on radio, that we'd call that a one take. That was one take. You don't need to do that one again. That's great. So tell us about this show now. So we're gonna have flowers. People can come and buy plants too and stuff, right?
Yeah, people will have a chance to register to win a plant that was donated by Wilrich.
Okay.
And I found out about it. I found out from Brooke Monavon, who's in charge of the program
Okay.
of the art show. She's in charge. So last year I wanted to enter something, but it was the cutoff was too late, and so I said I'm gonna have to wait till next year. And so Brooke flagged me down about 3 weeks ago at Class 6 and during trivia night and said, "We'd love you to be in the show, and how would you like to be the ambassador for
Wow.
to announce about the show?"
Yeah, you're big time, man. So do you do some art? Do you paint or sculptor or anything?
Well, I did a drawing, and I was in the the pantry room of my apartment, and my mom was gone to something else, and so I saw a tree out in the backyard of our apartment complex
Okay.
at Amber Manor, and I said, maybe I'll do that tree and see what they think of it.
That's great.
So they asked me for the name of the title of the piece, and I go, "Ode to a Tree" or "God's Creation."
Oh, I like God's creation better. I like Ode to a Tree, but God's creation is a little bit better. All right, we got to get back to the news, but tell us now about Opportunity House. Why should we give the Opportunity House? Why is that such a great place?
Well, we don't give to Opportunity House. We will be forced to exist from the community because many years ago I started at Opportunity House back in the fall of '93,
Okay.
and then I found out that the Illinois government was cutting funding to Opportunity House, and they had to shut. J.B. Pritzker said to every sheltered workshop program to shut your doors.
Okay.
And so they haven't shut their doors because they're doing day programming over there.
Okay. And I think a lot of people in the community know how important Opportunity House is, so they're not going to let that go away. So, well, thank you, Shadow. Again, we always appreciate you, man, coming by. Again, the unofficial mayor of DeKalb. So tell us again the date of that fundraiser is what now?
This coming Wednesday, 4:30 to 6:30, May 6th.
May 6th. All right. Again, just show up. You don't have to have a ticket or nothing, right? Just show up.
You don't need a ticket. It's free of charge. And if you're a donor, come early between 3:45 and 4 o'clock. We'll be having the donors hour. And,
Okay.
you get a chance to chat with the artist before the show, and then I'll be there personally. And hope we can have you to come out.
All right. Well, thank you, Shadow. Again, the
And,
man.
in closing, I'd like to say, Dan, you're invited. TD, you're invited.
Well, thank you.
If you don't know where Bloomin' Gardens is, it's on Edward Street, next to the former Kindred Hospital.
All right, very good. In Sycamore, very good.
Yes.
All right, the man, the myth, the legend. You know, I used to only say that about Dee Palmer, but I say that about you now, Shadow. You're the man, you're the myth, the legend, Shadow Gentry.
And soon to be the real mayor.
All right, we're working on that. All right, thanks, Shadow. Appreciate Shadow Gentry stopping by, talking about the fundraiser going on. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. Great job. Yeah, can I keep that? Thank you, man. Great job on writing that. Well done, Derek. So we appreciate Shadow helping us out there with Downspin. And again, don't forget, May 7th is Give Day, Give DeKalb County Day, so give generously if you can. Let's take a look at the community calendar now. Thanks, Shadow. Brought to you by Stagecoach Players Theater. Go to stagecoachplayers.com. And we're excited. We're in a couple of minutes from now, we're going to be giving away tickets to a streetcar named Desire. It runs May 14th through the 24th at the beautiful Stagecoach Players Theater, 126 South 5th Street in DeKalb. Now, Dan, I'm sure sometime in your life you saw that, right? I mean, I saw it years ago. I can remember Marlon Brando in his T-shirt yelling Stella. Well, I couldn't really tell you the story, the plot line. Do you remember the streetcar named Desire?
No, I saw it, but it starred Vivian Lee.
Vivian Lee, yes.
Who was also in Gone with the Wind. And it's a lot of drama,
Yeah.
a lot of adult stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a streetcar.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a black and white.
Yeah.
I mean, what I saw.
Uh-huh.
But Brando, yeah, they were stellar.
Yeah.
Vivian
So-
Lee was from England, so they're the best actors and actresses there.
Oh, was she from England? I didn't know that. So she did Gone with the Wind and she was from England. Really? Interesting.
Well,
I was not sure she was a
Vivian, I think she was an English actress, yeah.
Yeah, cool. And we're recording this on the 30th of April, but don't forget auditions this weekend if you'd like to be in a play at the Stagecoach Players Theater. Friday from 6 to 9, again at the First Lutheran Church in DeKalb. That's 324 North 3rd Street. Saturday from 1 to 5, and then Sunday from 1 to 5. Again, the plays you can audition for: The Man Who Came to Dinner, Bonnie and Clyde the Musical, and Dracula. 5 things to do in DeKalb County. Cinco de Mayo in DeKalb, downtown DeKalb, Cinco de Mayo celebration from noon to 8 on Sunday, May 3rd. This is free, a family fun event. Live performances, food trucks, vendors, and more. You bringing the kids down for that one? Do you do that? We might. I used to go to the one in Sycamore. I know they used to put one on there.
Yeah. My kids have been there.
Sounds like a hoot. It really does. Pints for Pups. I like this. Rotaract Club of Sycamore presents this dog-friendly outdoor event this Saturday at May 2nd at John Orchard. Featured markets filled with live demos, local vendors, interactive activities. Event supports a variety of local nonprofit organizations, including Tal's Humane Society. Again, check out on Facebook for more information. That's Pint for Pups in Malta. Cortland Garage Sale and Craft Vendor Show in Cortland runs April 30th through May 2nd. There, check that out. Windy City Pro Wrestling, a battle for the belts. It will be at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday. Now, I was going to ask you this, Dan. Do you know where the WCPW studio is? I meant to look this up. It's 1600 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. The WCPW studio. Must be big enough to have a pro wrestling event.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not familiar with that, so I meant to look that up before the show here.
On East Lincoln Highway.
Yeah, 1600 East Lincoln Highway. You can go to officialwcpw.com for more information. And that's great. You see, the local guys, it's even scarier because you never know. They don't know all the moves real well, and somebody could easily break a leg or hurt themselves. But
Really? So this is good old-fashioned Dick the Bruiser wrestling.
Right. Windy City Pro Wrestling. I think that might be the name. My brothers and I used to watch out of Channel 26 out of Chicago, WCW, Bob Luce, and they had wrestling on. And wrestling followed by roller derby. So my brothers and I, we were in heaven, boy.
The T-Birds.
The T-Birds, that's right, with Joni Weston. I still remember the blonde who was the skater. So that's 6:30 there if you know where the WCPW studio is. And then Elton Jeff and the Honky Cats will be at the Sandwich Opera House, a tribute to Elton John, Elton Jeff, and the Honky Cats. I think he could have come up with a better name. But he'll be performing Saturday, May 2nd there at the Sandwich Opera House. So check that one out. The Funky Cats. I don't know about that. And we'll tell you more as we get closer to Veterans Day. We'll have I'm going to have Harlan Hawkins. How's that for a great name? I'll keep thinking of Hershey Hawkins, the basketball player. But Harlan is from Cortland. Dan, he's been cleaning off grave markers from Civil War veterans. You ever see the guys do that, where it corrodes through the years, and so it's like a 2-week process where he cleans it all off and then redoes it. And he's done like 44 headstones now at the Elmwood Cemetery.
I can't remember you telling me about him a long time ago.
Yeah, because I tried to get a hold of him before, but now we're definitely going to have him on for an upcoming podcast here. But what a great thing to do to give, and I hope this will get the momentum going here because I said he's done 44 headstones, and you go to certain cemeteries and you just see this stuff, and he says a lot of the stones that he did, there's no more family, there's nobody left for that person.
Okay.
So it really means even more then, So
These are from the distant past,
Yeah.
so we can read them.
the Civil War, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah,
That's
'cause-
good stuff. Yeah. So God bless him. And we're going to have Harlan Hawkins on. Looking forward to that. And that's a look at the community calendar brought to you by Stagecoach Players Theater. Go to stagecoachplayers.com for more information. Sports, again, we always like to just emphasize one particular team. This will be the Sycamore baseball team. Noah Neese. Now, you and I are both baseball fans, so we can really appreciate that, Dan. Noah Neese was struggling at the plate, but was far from alone. The first four batters of the Sycamore lineup struck out 12 times in the first 20 at-bats. But Neese broke out of a slump in a big way, homering in the bottom of the 10th, giving the Sycamore a 6-5 win over Canelan in the first game of a 3-game interstate conference series. I was having a bad day at the plate. He said 0 for 4. He struck out 3 times, almost wore the golden sombrero there, and popped up this to second in his first 4 at-bats. I was just thinking, keep it simple, just waiting for a fastball, fell to come in, and just boom, it felt great. Yeah, so striking out 3 times and then hitting the game-winning home run. And that's what makes baseball so great.
Yeah.
You can redeem yourself.
Right, you're in a slump, and
And he does it right there in the game. So way to go there, Mr. Neese. Sycamore is now 8-7 over, about 6-1 in conference play. Canelan falls to 6-8-1, and they're 4-2 in conference play. That's a quick look at sports. Oh, I got to do the birthday list. I forgot to ask people for their birthdays. Well, again, we always like to do the obits when we can. Winford Winnie Lewis Turner, age 89 now. She's not from here. She's from Oregon, but this really hit me, Dan. Born during the Great Depression and the second oldest of 7 children. So imagine that, 7 children during the Great Depression. It was a time of great hardship, self-reliance, and reliance. Wendy grew up in a world that was different from the world now. She grew up in an era with dirt floors, outdoor plumbing, no electricity, and radio for entertainment. I love how they just threw that in there. Radio, what? That's all they had for entertainment?
can I ask? Was this Oregon, Illinois?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her family would move from place to find work, apple picking being one that she noted. Her childhood made her who she was. So just to get through all that, and again, it makes you think about dirt floors, no outdoor plumbing, no electricity. The radio for entertainment, that doesn't sound so tough, but
Makes me think of the Waltons a little bit.
yeah. Well, I remember those with the dirt bowl and the women. They said they would be brooming, dusting and brooming for 5-6 times a day, just trying to keep all the dirt out of the house. Just a constant battle, boy.
But with the dirt floor, I mean.
Oh, can't imagine. Oh, jeez. And then we have Janice Jane Nelson at Oakcrest Health Center. Born on April 5th, 1936, she grew up in a family farm, the Evergreens, near Elburn, Illinois. Do you know the Evergreens? Sounds like a great place to grow up.
What's the last name?
Her last name is Nelson, but the farm she grew up on was called the Evergreens near Elburn, Illinois. With her brother Walt, she attended and graduated Elburn High School in 1953. Attended Iowa State University for 2 years, was a member of the Delta Zeta sorority. Midway through her sophomore year, she met Bill Nelson, and the two married in 1955. The honeymoon in Colorado and Boulder Junction in Wisconsin. The two shared a love of great outdoors, particularly fishing. As a wedding present, Bill gifted Jan a pair of waders. Now, that doesn't love. I don't know what is. Now, Becky and I have never fished together. You a fishing family? Do you two?
No,
Maria,
I
get out there and fish?
I do have to take my son Jude fishing this year. I'm not really a fisherman, but I got to buy a license. Got to buy a. You need a license.
Right,
to
right.
fish.
I mean, I tell you, I go over there by Rotary Park. A lot of guys fish there, and I'm guessing 90% of them don't have a license. I've never seen a what do you call that, ranger or
A game warden.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
and when they just slap you on the wrist and say, Mr. Lynch, make sure you have a permit next time.
Like if you're at Shavana, state park.
They'll get you, huh?
Oh yeah.
Really? But how about the fact as a wedding present, Bill gifted Jan a pair of waders? Now that's love. I tell you, my dad took my mom to a Cubs game on their honeymoon. It was a beautiful Lakeshore. What's the hotel there? It was on It's on the opposite side of Lakeshore Drive, Edgewater Hotel.
Edgewater Beach Hotel.
Edgewater Beach Hotel. And so here it's the first night. Mom thinks Dad's going to have a big fancy dinner and everything like that. And he goes, come on, we're going to take her to the Cubs game. And Mom always tells the story. And at one point during the game, Dad turned to her and said, isn't this great? And Mom's like, it's my honeymoon. And I'm at a Cubs game. The two spent their early married years, their first child, Karen, and then had Kevin and Carl after that, raising 3 children. She loved sewing, baking, and volunteering, and teaching her kids and grandchildren. Boy, I mean, that's a great thing. She was active with the Kishwaukee Hospital Auxiliary, which supported DeKalb Hospital through fundraising and community service. She was also a member of the First Lutheran Church, was actively involved in the Delta Zeta Sorority College at NIU campus there. So just a great lady there. God bless her. She will be missed there. She said, went to all her kids' events, including Karen's badminton matches. Well, it's weird to read that. And hey, listen to this family. Karen's high school badminton matches, Kevin's college baseball games, and Carl's professional football career. So a pretty athletic family. Carl apparently played with the New York Giants at one point.
Oh, Carl. Yeah, Carl with
Carl
a
Nelson.
K. 1986.
How do you know that? See, I told you you have a weird memory. How do you remember that?
I remember when that happened. That was the Phil Sims LT years.
Okay.
There was a guy on that team from DeKalb.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. And then I love this. One of her favorite, being her beloved Chicago Cubs, who one of her favorite memories were meeting Ernie Banks. It was a special moment as a lifelong fan. She was a state champion maramba player and could also play piano and organ. Maramba? Are you down with that? Marimba. State champion maramba player. So God bless her.
Not familiar, but
meeting Ernie Banks, boy, that would be great. And finally, Gerald Jerry Bemis, 85 of DeKalb, born in DeKalb in 1940. Married his high school sweetheart Sue in 1960, beginning a love partnership that spanned more than 6 decades. He farmed throughout his life. His son Steve joined him in working side by side on the farm. Horses were an integral part of Jerry's life, whether riding in town as a youth. Now, this is what stopped me. Horses were an integral part of Jerry's life, whether riding to town as a youth to see friends. So how many kids say, yeah, Mom, I'm going to get my horse to go see my buddy over there? But that's what he did. How great is that? Herding cattle on the farm in Illinois and Wisconsin, or simply riding with friends and family for enjoyment there. So how many kids can say they took their horse to school? In 1997, he was honored with the Prairie Farmer Illinois Master Farmer Award as well. So again, just illustrating all the wonderful people that we have in DeKalb County. It's
I
amazing.
enjoy those.
It really is. It sounds morbid to read the obits, but it's amazing what some of these people have done. Just really is. And let's take a quick look now at the birthday and anniversary list, as I forgot to ask people for birthdays. We do know today is Paige Bork's birthday in Elburn, but I do have this date in history. Again, this date in history brought to you by DeKalb County History Center. Go to DeKalbCountyHistoryCenter.org. Now, do you know who Altgeld is? You know Altgeld Hall? Do you know who that was?
I know the hall, don't know the person.
I didn't either. So here, on May 1896, the Board of Trustees at Northern Illinois State Normal School, later NIU, was set to hold their meeting here Wednesday to inspect the work on the building and also lay out plans for future labor. Governor John P. Altgeld was expected to be the presenter at the conference with the committee. The building took 3 more years to complete. That sound familiar? And opened in 1899 school year. It was later named Altgeld Hall for the governor who visited that day. So he just shows up, he gets a hall named after him. He didn't do anything else. He was just there for the presentation. I always wonder where Altgeld Hall came from. So Governor Altgeld. A plant in, not a sit-in, a plant in at NIU's Ecological Park was held at dawn on April 30th, 1971. As part of the ceremony, more than 1,200 trees were planted. A 1974 history of the NIU humorously wrote, this section of northwestern corner of the campus has subsequent plantings and whenever money was available, and today fast becoming a spot where animals, including humans and plants alike, may coexist. And I know the township is planting 250 trees, right, for the 250th birthday.
Right. Correct.
What a great thing to do. And finally, I would have, why don't we have something like this now with our 250th? April 28, 1976, our bicentennial year, a bicentennial wagon train visited DeKalb Huntley Middle School. It was part of a trek that crossed the nation from the state of Washington to Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. They spent the night camping on North First Street, just south of Bethany Road. The wagon trail had visited Chabanaw the day before and were headed to Sycamore and Genoa on April 29th. So how cool was that? Old-fashioned wagon train went through. I didn't hear that. I remember the ships. You saw the big ships in Chicago when they came in? We went down there for that. That was really cool.
No.
The tall ships, the tall wooden ships they had. What? No, you
During
weren't.
the bicentennial.
I forget I'm older than you. Yeah, that's right. What were you, how old were you in 76?
I was 4.
So you wouldn't remember the tall ships down there on Lake Michigan.
Boy, I don't know what I was doing. I was watching the Phil Donahue show that my mom was addicted to watching.
Is the caller there? Is the caller there? Is the caller there? People forget, though, Phil started that whole thing. I mean, Phil started the
It was in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, Dayton, Ohio, I think is where he started. And then he worked his way.
Really?
Yeah. A big Phil. I used to watch Phil all the time. Really.
So these ships came to Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah. Parked there at the Navy Pier. It was really cool. And that's a look. That's our newscast for today. Again, next week we're going to have our friends from Stagecoach Players there, Streetcar named Desire. And I want to tell people, too, when we do the news, when we have guests, we still do the news. We just have a news maker with us there. But so we always appreciate you, Dan. Again, your efforts. How are things going with you? Everything going good with you these days?
Life is. I'm turning gray.
Oh,
My
boy.
hair is turning gray.
But see, we men, we can pull it off if you do it the right way.
Did you ever think about dyeing your hair when it started to turn gray?
No.
Okay.
No, because I was blessed to have pretty good gray hair. As a matter of fact, I got the salt and pepper thing happening. But I remember getting it younger than I wanted to get it. Being a little freaked out by that.
Okay, so you're like James Brolin, George Clooney.
Yeah, I get that often.
Okay, but the hair dye.
But you're not going that route, are you?
No.
Well, you see the guys that do it. It just looks so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like the Seinfeld episode where George is wearing the toupee, this little hair hat, as Jerry called it. But he goes, people know. He goes, don't act like people know. You know. I guess they're a lot better now. I'm sure there's people with tubes that I don't even know they're wearing a tube. But,
Yeah. Well, a lot of people dye their hair. I'm finding out.
really?
A lot of people, men and women.
Well, I told you, last episode we did, if I could get back, start again, I would get involved in hair. Women's hair, I preferably, but men's hair. Now we have this, I want to say manscaping. What do they call this now? Where men enhance their features. Have you heard this? Maximizing your, doing things like hitting yourself with a little hammer to make your forehead more prominent. Some of this stuff is just crazy.
Wow.
And there's
I
a guy
have not heard this.
yeah, well, you shouldn't. It's absolute insanity is what it is. But such is the case, But there's always people, the people, what about the people that put they have the metal sewn into their bodies? Have you seen that? Where they have the,
No, I no.
yeah, little nolt or bolt, like sewed into your skin. To what end, I don't know. But to each his own.
I have enough problems.
All right, always a pleasure. Again, we thank everyone. I want to thank our sponsors. Again, we always appreciate so much. Michael Davis, my nephew who gets us on the air. We appreciate so much. Dan, thank you. So we just give you the last word. What do you got for last word there, my friend?
Hey, we're into May already, and Memorial Day is coming up, and it's a lovely month.
There you go. And we'll leave it at that. And that's CD Ryan Unleashed News Podcast number 40.
Doug Plank?
Doug 46. Doug Plank. There we go.